What's up everybody, Chris Chavez here with Fandroid.com. You are watching the Android Overload for Wednesday, January 30th, and these are the top Android news stories from today. It looks like a few user agent profiles have tipped off the display resolution for a couple of Samsung tablets. It looks like Samsung's upcoming smaller tablets, like the 7 or 8 inch Galaxy Tabs, are going to have possibly just a regular old 720p display, whereas there's a GT P8200 codename, I guess you can call it, or model number, that is looking like it's going to be the beefier of the two. It's packing a 2560 by 1600 resolution display. So if you guys are familiar with the iPad, it's up there with Retina type display. Same exact display that we've seen on the Nexus 10, so it makes sense that Samsung, who also makes a Nexus 10, would make a, I guess, a TouchWiz variant of the Nexus 10 for themselves. So we can expect the Galaxy Tab 3 to have the same exact, probably the same exact hardware as the Nexus 10. The only difference is being that Samsung will most likely put their TouchWiz and smear it all around up in there. In Nexus 4 news, it looks like some more areas in Europe, like the UK and such, are able to purchase the Nexus 4. Yesterday we saw it return to the Google Play Store, and people are actually already receiving shipment emails for the Nexus 4s that they ordered yesterday, so those will come by the end of the week, which is awesome. Yesterday we also saw a picture, or a leaked picture, of a white Nexus 4. It was kind of a little bit of a blurry image. It gave us a general idea, but it was a really poor picture. It looked like it was snapped by someone's smartphone, but today we have a couple of more images, a lot better quality, and it shows not only the back of the device, but the front as well. Whether or not you like white devices, you might not like this one because it's going to have an all black front, so the bezels on the top and bottom are going to be black, and the back is going to be white with the little glittery stuff on it. I kind of like that. I like, it reminds me of the Galaxy Nexus, which had, you know, the white version, which had a white back and a black front, and it kind of reminds me of that, so I kind of like it, but some people probably won't. RIM had a huge announcement today. They finally announced their Z10 and Q10 new smartphones that are looking to, I guess, challenge Android. I actually like the OS a lot better than, say, maybe like iOS or even Windows Phone. BlackBerry has this really cool way of, you know, doing these cool bezel gestures and whatnot to like multitask. And it's really awesome. I liked it on the BlackBerry Playbook, and it's going to be kind of the same on the phones. The Z10 is packing sort of the specs from last year's high-end smartphone. So you have like 2 GB of RAM, 4.2-inch 720p display, 8 megapixel camera, 2 megapixel front-facing, dual-core processor. So nothing really too epic there, or trying to push the envelope. They're kind of just playing catch-up at this point, but I guess the emphasis is in the OS, which actually looks very impressive. So I'm excited to see what happens with BlackBerry. I hope they do well. Android needs better competition than just iOS, which, you know, just isn't much competition anymore. Make sure to head on over to Fandroid.com because we actually have a nice little comparison chart comparing the Z10 to some of the high-end Android smartphones and then even the iPhone, so you guys can kind of see where they compare, I guess, pound for pound. Android 4.2.1 Jelly being the just about the latest Android dessert is actually rolling out for the Sprint Galaxy Nexus. This was actually leaked a little bit a while ago. It was, I guess, the factory images were posted on Google's servers, and it looks like Sprint wasted no time in pushing this out, so major props to Google. Major props to Sprint for getting this out nice and quick for Galaxy Nexus users. You guys are running an OS that not very many people are, so, or a firmware anyway. Good job with that. It looks like this is the week of the HTC M7 leaks. There's another one actually. Now we have an expected unveiling, which is going to be February 19th in New York. It looks like HTC is planning an event, and they will no doubt unveil their next flagship device, the HTC M7. Now we actually are hearing rumors that the device will launch on March 8th over in like the Europe, and then that'll be like an international version with carrier branded versions here in the US releasing hopefully not too long after that, so it shouldn't be too much longer. Super hyped for the M7. It's definitely going to be my next smartphone. I'm not going to wait around for the Galaxy S3 to arrive. I tend to like to jump on the latest and greatest as it comes, and If you just play the waiting game, you can play the waiting game forever. The M7 is also going to come in a few different color variations, 2 of them to be exact. You're gonna have a black model and a white model. So that's awesome that they're not, holding off until later in the year to just introduce a white model and piss everyone else off that was hoping that they would get, either the black or white. So awesome, HTC. And that just about wraps up the Android Overload for Wednesday, January 30th. For links to all the articles I talked about here, check out the description down below. And don't forget to check out the Android Overload, where we post links to all of the news stories that didn't make it onto Phandroid's front page. So you can find all kinds of weird little tidbits and stuff in there. With Phandroid.com, I am Chris Chavez. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.